Good morning. Welcome back to Daybreak on this 27th day of July 2021. My name is Sam Gituku and I want us to begin the discussion as we talk about the matters affecting the nation. And to introduce the panel, we have via Skype Tim Wanyonyi, the Member of Parliament for Westlands. And good morning, Tim. We also have Alice Ohome, Member of Parliament for Kandara constituency. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Good morning.
Priscilla Nyokabi from the National Gender and Equality Commission. She's a commissioner there, but also a former Member of Parliament for Nyeri County, rather. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Jessica Mbalu, Member of Parliament for Kibwezi East. Karibu sana to the show.
Thank you and good morning.
I haven't seen you in a long time.
I'll be with you now.
What has been going on?
Building the country.
Okay, all right. And I want us to begin by looking at the latest in the papers. Raila and Kalonzo finally part ways. That is according to the Daily Nation. Too little, too late, the question they are raising. Not even a last-minute concession by ODM to share the political party's funds would salvage the political dalliance that saw Mr. Raila Odinga and Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka run for the presidency on a joint ticket twice. Wiper MPs rejected ODM overtures and resolved to withdraw the party from the NASA coalition. Then the same story, or the main story on the front page of the Standard, Raila backs down as Kalonzo quits NASA. They are saying that it's a climb down. ODM leader sits ground on contested political parties' funds in a last-minute effort to woo back his estranged partners. But this did not stop Wiper Party from joining ANC in voting to quit the alliance formed prior to the 2017 pause. And to illustrate this, I want us to listen to the Wiper Party leader, that is Kalonzo Musyoka, who spoke and made that announcement, parting ways since they came together under NASA. Was it in 2017? Let's listen to the Wiper Party leader.
We welcome our friends in ODM. We are not killing NASA and killing ODM at the same time. We are really cognizant of the fact that ODM have a right also to do political formation. But I want to take this platform to welcome ODM as we form the new alliance, all-encompassing, for the purposes of national salvation of the Kenyan nation state. This country is at a crossroads. We have had a very useful consultation as Wiper Democratic Movement this evening, culminating in our decision to exit NASA and welcome a new formidable coalition, which coalition, in my view, will be spearheaded by the One Kenya Alliance. In making this decision, we have no hard feelings, and we are cognizant of the current political environment. We are sure of the direction we want to take, and we are determined to take that decision, that direction.
All right, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka, and joining us here is Kibwezi East Member of Parliament, Jessica Mbalu. We see you right behind your party leader, so clearly you know what was going on. You attended that meeting. But now you're saying that you're leaving NASA, but you also welcome ODM into One Kenya Alliance. Tell us about that. What is that?
Very well, and thank you, Sam. Yes, it is true that I am a member of Wiper Democratic Movement and NEC member, that we made a decision yesterday on the 26th that we are leaving NASA and we are forming a bigger house, the OKR, One Kenya Alliance. Again, we are not locking anybody out. We also welcome even Honorable Raila Odinga, the ODM, to join us in the big house. So we are just moving from a small house to a bigger house. We're forming a bigger coalition, the OKR, the One Kenya, because we are looking at the nation. We are including everybody, as you just very well said, that Honorable Kalonzo did say, that we are not locking anybody out. We are welcoming everybody in our new house. and it's a bigger house.
So what will be different? Because when I look at the National Super Alliance, I see, well, until that decision is made that NASA is no more, I see ODM, Wiper, ANC, and Ford Kenya. Now, you're outside with the Wiper, ANC, Ford Kenya, and KANU. Actually, those parties combined have lesser members of parliament elected, or even elected officials than what ODM has. So what do you mean? Bigger house, smaller house?
We are talking about moving from NASA coalition. And we made a decision yesterday in the NEC as a Wiper Democratic Movement, moving to the bigger house. That, okay, we are saying that this movement is one Kenya because we are looking at Kenya at large. We are not looking at small areas. That's why we want to put everybody, every Kenyan on board. Well, yes, this being a new movement, being a new coalition, we are going to grow bigger than even we are saying. That's why we are welcoming everybody. When you talk about members of parliament lesser than the others, even the Jubilee, we are working with the Jubilee and we are working with the other members. So we're going to be bigger than you would want to imagine. Okay, so you're talking about futuristically it's not about,
speaking.
Yes.
All right, and
yes.
Tim, now you've been left alone. I mean, if the third party, probably Ford Kenya, withdraws from NASA or even ODM, then that coalition collapses. Do you think you've achieved what you wanted to achieve in 2017? And what happens to ODM now? Tim, did you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, I'm asking you a
Hello?
question.
Sam?
Yes. It's a question for you, and I'm asking...
Let me say this, that it is good. I can see Wiper have actually woken up to realize that NASA is no longer the place they want to be. And if you look at even the formation of One Kenya Alliance, it's just the three NASA coalition partners just brought in KANU, so which means it's only ODM missing there. What I can say is that all along ODM, we say that NASA died at the day that Raila Odinga was sworn in as the people's president. But our friends who are not, did not realize that and have just woken up the hard reality. NASA died long time ago, but we also alive that as we go to the election, we are going to have new realignments. And One Kenya Alliance is just one of the formations that has come up. And very soon, new formations will come up, and maybe we may just find ourselves on the same side again with our estranged partners. And I'm very sure that this is something that is healthy for democracy. And these formations, we want just to say it is good because there's no one political party that can go it alone and form a government. It has to be a coalition, and that coalition must be with people of like-minded. And I'm sure this is going to come very soon.
But Tim, that's very interesting because, look, in 2013, there was the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy. You had Wiper, ODM, and Ford Kenya as the main partners. Then that collapsed, and the coming on board of the National Super Alliance, which was very well marketed by Musalia Mudavadi, bringing the addition of ANC. This time around, NASA is collapsing, and then some three parties are going aside and adding on top of what they have, KANU. So really, are they just musical chairs, or is anything really changing when it comes to what defines these parties and the vision for the country?
Although Saba, the sound is not very good, but I can get you a little. What I'm saying is that these, you know, our partners are crying foul. They are saying that there was deceit, there was, ODM was not honest with them. But I think this matter, as Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka has stated, they have discussed with the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. And I'm sure maybe they have not given us what they really agreed upon. And formation of coalition, to me, coalition should be formed after election. But when we form a coalition before election, sometimes things happen. You may not win the election, and you bring in a lot of issues other than what we agreed upon. But if formation were formed after election, I'm sure people will come together knowing very well what is at stake, what they are going to do. Because sometimes you may end at the election and nobody emerges as an outright winner. So, but this new formation is just, there's nothing new. It's just coming up with everything that was there before. And the agreements, I'm sure, if you look at the Political Parties Act, the allocation of revenue from the Political Parties Act normally is for the strength that the party holds in the House, in Parliament, and the number of members of Parliament elected vis-a-vis the MCAs and the governors and all that. So this one of NASA, if there was such a thing, because I've never looked at that document, is it was just a kind gesture from ODM to their partners.
Well, of course, Tim is talking about what Kalonzo Musyoka said, that they have agreed that some money will be shared, and it's also captured in the 2 dailies. But Priscilla, what do you make of this? Tim admits that nothing is different, and even as we face the next election, you don't know what formations will come, but the political parties are the same, the players are the same, just some sort of reorganization and finding a name. What is this?
Well, you know, I was just looking at the history of our country. It does appear that for the winning of the presidential election, coalitions are extremely important. As I was just looking, 1992, we did not have the coalitions. Standalone parties went to election. 1997, we had the IPPG and a bit of attempt at formation of coalitions, not very successful. 2002, yote yawezekana. NAC, that was the first big win of a coalition arrangement, like the kinds that we have now. 2007, PNU, Party of National Unity, was a coalition, then forming the Grand Coalition after the post-election violence. 2013, TNA and URP. 2017, Jubilee, a coalition. So this seems to be, you know, in a series that even 2022 is going to be a coalition arrangement as we go into the election. So you can't quite say that there isn't anything new, because if you look at the 2002 one, economic recovery was the reason for the coalition. So even the one that we go into in 2022, there will have to be some economic recovery ideology because of the COVID-19. And so parties coming together, regions coming together, it gives more stability, more inclusion, really something to celebrate about. My only concern as an NGEC commissioner is the place of women, the place of young people, and the place of persons with disability in these coalition arrangements. And so we are hoping that the coalitions, as they come in, the opposite gender rule is, for example, enforced between the presidential candidate and the running mate, that they are of opposite gender, that there is inclusion of young people, that there is inclusion of persons with disability.
Or a desired
it is not exactly written in law, but it would mean that if you're looking for inclusion, it is not just the regional blocks, it is also inclusion of other sectors of the population, women, young people, and disability. Because one of the bad things about coalitions is that they eliminate women. And I was happy when the leader was speaking that my friend was there, and 2 other women, I think, and we've seen the same also in UDA, so that the coalitions can come in, but let the coalitions be inclusive of all the regions and all of the communities, but also of the special interest groups as well. And we have 2 or 3 coalitions competing, because this arrangement of 70 political parties going into elections is a bit of an untidy democracy. So these coalitions also give us a chance at a tidy democracy, the majority party and the minority party, one watching over the conduct of business of the other, oversight as it were. So this is not a bad idea. I think that this is the way it should be as we prepare for 2022.
All right, and I want us to listen to what Kalonzo Musyoka said about that quarrel that has been for a very long time in as far as political parties' funds are concerned. Listen.
I always knew there were extremists in ODM who are misleading Raila. When we sat and I showed him, and by the way, I made it very clear, these were the only discussions I had with Raila on the matter of political parties funding. And he agrees with me because he hadn't seen the salient clauses to which he affixed his signature. Therefore, Honorable Raila has done well. We will file that letter with the registrar of political parties. And therefore, there will be no need for the Sifuna letter, which was instructing the registrar of political parties to convene a meeting to discuss what, in his view, was helpless business or hopeless business. We are serious leaders, and we don't want leaders who besmirch the character of national leaders.
Yes, but forgive him.
We forgive them.
Forgive Sifuna.
Well,
Did I just say that? Very interesting that Kalonzo Musyoka appears now to apportion the blame to the other officials within the ODM party and not Raila Odinga. But we'll get to that with Jessica Mbalu here. But Honorable Alice Wahome, so you've been in this country for quite a bit of time when it comes to matters politics. And are you seeing anything new? And what do you make of the end of NASA and the discussions now going to the next coalition? And I say this knowing that you have different political interests.
Thank you, Sam, for having me this morning. I was looking at the Nation newspaper, and I'm seeing somewhere on page 4 with a headline or a heading that Raila and Kalonzo just kiss and say goodbye. It's an interesting one because I think that's what is happening, kiss and say goodbye. I don't think there is a kiss. It's just goodbye. Meaning the relationship, there would have possibly been a kiss if you could hear kind of words, you know. Luckily, maybe Kalonzo is somehow a gentleman or unable to take hard positions like he has been known. He knows that NASA, because, you know, some NASA, according to Raila, even before, he even told Kalonzo that I never asked for, I did not ask you for your support. I have not even said I'm running. About a month ago. This is, of course, his former running mate. Then Sifuna, even on national television, has been on record saying NASA died a long time. They all agreed it was the formality that they were maybe waiting for. And I think that is the formality. We could congratulate the Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka for taking the actual legal step now to ensure, although they say that, I think the agreement says that you need like 3 partners to be able to exit, 2 or 3 partners, Jessica could clarify, to exit. But now that even ODM is saying they are writing the letter, Kalonzo has been allowed by the NEC, it's done. I think there is no more marriage there. But I think Jessica needs to be more candid in this particular matter. They have moved from a bigger house, to a smaller house. NASA was obviously a bigger house, and the largest partner, or the bigger partner, was the ODM. It has more than 80 members of parliament. Wiper has about 20 members of parliament. ANC has about 14. And Ford Kenya, maybe 1 or 2, I think 2 in Senate, and maybe 1 or 3 in the National Assembly. The figures are like that. So she's not able to say, I don't think it is correct per se to say that they have moved to a bigger house. They possibly would be looking forward to building a bigger house. So that is a coalition maybe, with, you know, because we were talking about the other partner in is it OKA? One Kenya Alliance, yes, the KANU, and yeah, it's KANU, ANC, and Ford Kenya. These were the same partners, minus KANU, who had formed NASA. I don't see how, but she has also talked about joining, maybe welcoming ODM back. So you see, it's like a strategic move. Maybe they are hoping to be the bigger brother, considering the number, or bigger sister. Let me just, because I think we should be talking about the bigger sister here. You know, the bigger sister in this coalition. You know, it's just maybe some strategic move there. Because if they are welcoming NASA, And they also say they want to welcome the ruling party. How sad that even small parties would think of welcoming the ruling party instead of expecting to be invited into the ruling party. That tells you the status and where Jubilee is in terms of a political party, because it has dismembered itself. Definitely Jubilee has dismembered itself. I think now it is at the size of Wiper. So I can expect, I would not fault Jessica for thinking that actually...
Why would you say that? You're still a member of parliament elected on Jubilee ticket.
No. You know, that is true, but I may not be a stakeholder anymore, so I cannot be counted in the numbers of Jubilee anymore. I told you last time I was here, we are in Jubilee technically, and we are allowed. You know, Jubilee is in discussion. It's in the public domain that Jubilee is in discussion with, I think, NASA. So now it would have to decide which particular party within NASA it will be in discussion with. But we know it has been...
The actual talks that we know of between Jubilee and ODM.
Yeah, you know, initially they had said it would be NASA. In fact, His Excellency is on record saying if NASA were to come together and produce one candidate, he would actually maybe consider supporting.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Did you hear him say that?
Yeah. Well, it is reported. It is reported. But also the president has been working with the ODM leader and other leaders in terms of a political party that can really claim to have worked with the Jubilee. I think ODM would kind of queue number one. And therefore, there is a big possibility, and even members of both parties have been saying they are working on a coalition. Therefore, that kind of a move is completely illegal because Jubilee has not called any of its organs. You see, Jessica's party, Wiper, give it to Kalonzo, they called the NEC. For Jubilee to even commence serious negotiations of a merger or a coalition, they need to summon the governing council. The Political Parties Act provisions speak to that in section 10, so that the governing council can give approval. And in fact, they should go further and summon the National Delegates Convention so that the membership can approve that. But you know, Jubilee has membership, but it doesn't have legitimate organs, because those organs can only be formed through elections. And Jubilee, 5 years down the line, has, against the law, not been able to put in place grassroots or any other office. You know, these are all the offices that you hear sacking and removing people and threatening people, locking out our party headquarters, were in the interim, on interim basis, and they ought to have been confirmed through elections 3 years down the line. That has not happened. So we are ourselves, we are I will be learning on UDA. Sam, it's no longer a secret, and the Political Parties Act allows a member, a president, a deputy president, a member of the National Assembly to actually continue serving in their elected position if their party merges or forms a coalition with another party, because you cannot be forced to stay in a party that has changed its status, possibly formed a merger or a coalition with a party that you didn't even approve or you don't hold the same beliefs. So we would not be affected legally.
So does that law mean when there are plans to form such a coalition, or when such a coalition is actually ratified? You
see, in terms of a party leadership, for you to form a coalition or a merger, the party organs, the governing council must approve and allow that to happen.
That's what I'm saying.
So therefore,
does the law allow you to associate with or to continue serving when a political party has moved into another formation?
It does. The law allows you to make the choice to continue.
When it happens, or when there are plans to make it happen?
When it happens.
So it hasn't happened yet?
You know, but there are all indications that they are working together illegally.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right. I just wanted to correct you because you said that Ford Kenya has 3 or so members of parliament.
Yeah.
According to the statistics of 2017 election, Ford Kenya got 13 members of the National Assembly elected, Amani National Congress 14, Wiper Democratic Movement 23, ODM 73, Jubilee 173, and of course, if you're
National Assembly.
yes, if you have to
Okay,
add the numbers from
I
the
stand
Senate.
corrected.
All right.
Still, the figure, what I was trying to demonstrate
that's fine.
in terms of the ODM numbers and their numbers.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But Jessica, getting back to you, we hear your party leader say that he is not expecting to hear from Edwin Sifuna. His letter is not expected. They are extremists within ODM. So in a sense, he's talking about this bully within ODM. Is it the shared view that you find ODM such a bully? And even if you're going to One Kenya Alliance and you're inviting them to join your coalition, how are you going to avoid that?
Very well. Number one, it is true that on the issue of the political parties' funds, that the ODM, the NASA, as we have had issues. And it is true what His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka did say, that so many people within the party have been misleading, or they have been given the wrong information. Just on record that yesterday, during even the NEC meeting, we were brought, a letter was written to us, of course to His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka, on the issue of the political parties' funds. And for real, Raila Odinga did agree that there has been a mess. They never looked at it very well. During all those years that we were in NASA, and of course, from a letter that he did write to us in admission, that they have not been able to remit the funds to the particular parties that formed NASA. Of course, we want to congratulate him because he really appreciated and he accepted that there was a mess.
That he had never read that article?
I mean, either read or not read, but the meeting that they had with the Kalonzo Musyoka, after, of course, being the lawyer and the senior counsel, must have read the article for him. Then, with his admission yesterday, we got the letter, accepting that he's going to reimburse or give the funds to the political parties. We are waiting for this, so we appreciate that one. But again, we want the letters that we have been written by one like Mr. Sifuna, and the members does not hold waters. Because now this is a letter that we got from one Honorable Raila.
And that's why, Honorable Mbalu, that's why my question, if this bullying attitude from ODM is something to go by, you think that's going to change when you invite ODM to One Kenya Alliance?
When they come to One Kenya Alliance, we'll be talking differently. And these are the people now we don't want to allow to mess up our One Kenya Alliance. And that's why it's no longer NASA. And just maybe also to correct and maybe had word on Honorable Wahome, NASA being that we paper, in terms of paper, we left yesterday as part, as Wiper Democratic Movement. When we come to One Kenya Alliance, we welcome everybody. And we're going to be bigger, and we just formed the One Kenya Alliance. We're going to be bigger than before, than Wiper, than NASA. She's admitting that she's a member of the Jubilee, which is very true. She's also welcome, though she's on record and say she's going to run with you. I don't even know how to mention the...
It's UDA.
United Democratic Party.
It's what? I know Wiper Democratic Party.
Alliance.
Alliance.
Yes.
Yeah, she's also welcome. I know in the coalitions in 2022, you'll even find Honorable Alice Wahome in One Kenya Alliance. And she's very welcome. She's a good lawyer,
Jessica,
and she's very welcome.
Let's wait and see.
You wait and see, yeah.
You
can see, yeah, because we have just formed it, and this is the way to go.
We are
I tell you, One Kenya
ahead.
Alliance is the way to go.
We are way ahead.
You're way ahead.
They can't even sleep. All these movements are because they are trying to catch up with the United Democratic Alliance.
Okay.
But I want to add something on the
Yes, go
on the
ahead,
funding situation. I think that these are also lessons on coalitions. I think that in the next season of coalitions, there must be better agreements so that some of these matters are detailed within the coalition agreement. But more importantly, and I like that the parliamentarians are here, the Political Parties Act might need a relook. that fund eliminates so many parties from the criteria. So I think that it is time that the criteria is looked at, so that, because there were reasons for the political parties fund, including making democracy more inclusive and making parties more inclusive. There are even supposed to be funds for women, youth, and persons with disability within the political parties fund. So that law might need to be looked at again, the criteria, so that more parties qualify, and that funds are also spent on membership drives and the elections that Ali spoke about earlier. So there's a whole lot of work to be done on the political parties fund. What has happened now is the political handshake as far as that fund is concerned, but there's a bit of legal work that needs to be done so that parties can strengthen and parties can then get taxpayers' money for the purposes for which it was meant. And more parties can qualify based on the performance at the elections.
As you say, but for this matter, maybe to clarify, as far as Wiper Democratic in the terms of NASA, there was agreement. The agreements are there, the annexes are there, everything, that's what was read.
But then the agreement and the law, because the law, Wiper should qualify for the money directly as Wiper.
What about Valu? I think what she's referring to is because I think the Act talks about a qualifying political party has to have at least garnered 5% of the total vote in a general election.
Yes.
But Honorable Tim, I see you smiling. As you watch this and as you listen to this, is there any consideration of reviewing the law? That's first part of that question. But the second part is, ODM is seen by NASA affiliates as such a bully, and that's why many of them are saying that they're leaving your party or leaving NASA because of yourselves. What will change if you had to form another alliance with either of these parties or even the Jubilee Party?
Hello, Sam?
Yes.
I can hear you, but so much noise, I cannot comprehend what you are saying. But what I've gotten Honorable Cheska saying is they're fearing the ODM writing letters to the political parties because NASA is dead, and some of the positions that are held by our partners were actually donated by ODM. So it would have been natural that those positions referred back to ODM, but we are not saying that. We have already expressed ourselves saying that in good faith, we are not going to disturb the arrangement that is already there, that those positions held by our SWAL partners, they will still be held in the same way. Status quo will be maintained. ODM is a good partner, and we are going to, we may need each other later in future. But we must also be alive that lately I've seen Wiper has been talking very tough. Has been talking tough and talking at OTM, telling ODM off and all this. But I can see Honorable Kalonzo softening after talking to Honorable Raila Odinga. And it is healthy that leaders should sit together and talk when there are issues or when there are disagreements. And this is culminating to even formation of new alliances. And we can see that them moving to One Kenya Alliance, ODM has still options. We can opt to form alliance with any other partner, or even join hands with them and form maybe a better coalition than what is already existing. But we are saying that everything was done in good faith. There was nothing that ODM did that was outside the agreement, or that something that what our partners are saying, that ODM did not share the revenue as required. But what I believe is that discussion which is ongoing with the
okay.
Yeah, I think some.
All right, I want us to take a.
Going forward.
Tim, we're having challenges. We're having challenges hearing you.
We must always be alive that Kenya is bigger than any one of us, and as we form new alliances, let us be alive that we have competitors, and we must have partners that are like-minded, that can bring something better to a table than just quarreling over the place.
Okay, all right. Tim, we're having challenges with your audio. We'll take a short break so that we can try to rectify that, but also The viewer, you can text in your views and questions. Next, we'll be talking about the regional interest. We've seen the Mount Kenya region positioning itself. We've seen the Coast region saying that it's time that a candidate is known from the ODM party, including one Hassan Joho, who is the deputy party leader. They are saying that if it's not him, it's Wycliffe Oparanya. If it's not Wycliffe, it's Raila Odinga. If it's not Raila Odinga, it's Hassan Joho. We continue that conversation to look at that road to 2022 and what will be defining. With all these political parties and the regions coming on board, what do the political leaders want? After the break.